welcome to IceCreamSandwich. I think. Yeah, we're gonna react to this.
Well, Bob, the weather is beautiful out here as we wait to see the main event. That's right, Sean. The birds are chirping, the sun is shining, and we're ready to see some awesome skateboarding tricks. Let's move over to our first competitor. Ooh, let's see if he can recover.
Look at this guy. What do you think when you see him? Uncool, somewhat unsightly, blue shirt.
There's barely any blue shirt because it's like...
It's tragic. This was me when I was younger. Not me now, but when I was younger. And when I was younger, I became very influenced by the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video games. They were awesome. The tricks, the characters, the Neversoft logo intro. Gross. I thought skateboarding was so cool.
Gross.
So I thought, if I became a skateboarder, then I would be cool. I mean, what could go wrong? Just get a skateboard, sign up for some classes, then I'm cool. It's easy. Oh, and plus my parents were willing to do anything to get me out of the house, so they agreed. On the first day of class, the instructor gathered all the kids around to set expectations. He talked about the simplest trick that we would be starting with, which was the ollie. He explained how to do the ollie and how to approach the trick. And then he said to not expect to get it right away because it took him a year to get it down. A year? I want to learn how to do the cool video game thing, not put an actual effort into a craft or skill over a long period of time. I have respect for people who put effort into their craft, but it takes me forever to learn things. It took me 3 semesters of taking Algebra 1 to finally not fail it. So learning how to do an ollie is going to take like... So I think this is going to take too long. I don't want to learn the jump move. I'm not gonna spend my time learning the jump move. I'm gonna go learn by myself. What's wrong with a little initiative, right? So I get up on a quarter pipe, and I set up to drop in. I got the wind knocked out of me, and then quit skateboarding. It may not be a noble thing to quit at the very first sign of effort or pain, but I think about it, and if I did continue to skateboard, I most certainly would have come out with way more brain damage than I already do, so probably for the best. Hey, buddy! What do you think about dodgeball? Well, I think that this video is sponsored by North...
No, it isn't. Okay. Well, we can't put in...
For malicious, it's most of it all to easy fun. Hey, thanks, North, for sponsoring this video. I love dodgeball because mostly it's just easy fun that anybody can enjoy. Like that guy over there. You don't have to be good at all to play and have a good time. And I am certainly not good, except for one time I was untouchable. It was during a college dodgeball tournament. My friends and I signed up for fun, but unfortunately the first team that we were paired up with was really good. They were like the best dodgeball players I have ever seen. They had team organization and were really strong to boot. They were throwing balls like cannons, and we hardly stood a chance. So the games were best of 5, and we had already lost 2 games at this point. And on the 3rd game, I ended up being the last man standing. If we lost this, we were done.
If you lost, your entire team would get mad at you. Like, why didn't you just hit them? It's like, we're like the best
So it becomes
players.
clear at this point that this isn't for fun anymore. I need to win, and also survive. When they saw I was the last man standing, they signaled to each other some kind of play. Like they had formations? I didn't know you could do that. What is he doing? 2 of them started winding up, and one of them was going down the center. I know exactly what was happening. It was some kind of cage maneuver. Avoiding the 2 balls on either side of me will draw me towards the center, which lines me up to be hit. Not on my watch.
Go for your skills.
I dodged their attacks. Now if I can return the offense and keep dodging, I can pick them off one... They caught the ball, and I was out. Was I only untouchable in that moment? Not for other parts of the game. Yes. Will I ever pull that off again? No. Was it awesome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would think because I was able to do that I'm like locked into the Matrix and could dodge all incoming ball-shaped threats. I wish. One time in high school gym class, we were all outside playing some soccer. The other team had a pretty big power player, big for his age and ready to rumble. Our team had me.
Is it just me,
Yep.
or
Other
does
team.
that guy kind of look like he just hatched from an egg and has an egg on his head?
Had a pretty big power player, big for his age and ready to rumble. Our team had me, smaller, aerodynamic, wiggly. I was feeling pretty competitive and I didn't want to let the ball pass me. So I was committed to being the best defense on our team. And I was doing a great job. I was constantly returning the soccer ball to the other side of the field. At one point, I see their power player tee up the ball.
I felt like getting in the way of this one's gonna be dangerous. He's a big guy with big legs.
But I wanted to win. I had competitive brain. So I get in the way. It was a really meaty kick.
That's hilarious.
Competitive brain. So I get in the way. It was a really meaty kick. I feel dizzy. I couldn't hear things for a second. I gotta sit down. You are sitting down. Abraham Lincoln. The power player felt really bad about it and apologized. I told him he didn't need to apologize. But by golly, did I think I was going to the other side for a second there. I sat on the sidelines for a bit as the game kept going, and eventually, I am feeling better and get back into the game. I am so sorry. Please, there is no need to apologize. These things happen all of the time, Mr. Lincoln. I decided that I'm not going to play anymore, and the teacher was fine with that. So I don't know why I was able to dodge balls like a Grandmaster dodgeball player, but I couldn't survive a soccer game. Maybe it was a fluke. Who knows? All I know is if you sit inside on your computer all day, you cannot get hit by ball. Uh-oh. Thanks for watching. Go long. Farther. Farther. Yeah, keep going.
Let me just...
Farther. 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 Yeah, keep going. Yeah, a little more. Do you know why my dog is the best dog in the world? Because she's a little baby. This is my little baby, that's why.
Oh,
This,
no.
everybody, is my...
All dogs are very good, including cats. Why can't Fergus be like a cats and dogs person? Like, I like dogs and cats, both of them.
My dog, and her name is Rhea. She is a rescue from the south, a breed, and she is full of love. Honestly, without a doubt, with zero bias, I think she's the best dog probably ever to exist. She just loves and trusts everybody we meet, which is very cute. But also, it's a little weird. It's kind of worrying. You may wonder, how did we get Rhea? How are we so lucky to be blessed with literally the best dog? It all started with Kelly. She told me one day she really wanted to get a dog and that we should adopt. Initially, I felt really hesitant about it. Don't get me wrong, I like dogs, and I've had dogs before, but I knew what they came with. Primarily, lots of hair. I also felt super busy at the time, and adding things like taking care of a dog felt like too much stuff. It's not something you can do as a hobby. It's a life that you have to keep alive. An adorable little baby life when you're so cute, little baby. My heart was icy cold, and I didn't really want to take on this new responsibility. But Kelly was sure this was going to be a good idea, and I wasn't, so I don't know. Who am I to stand in the way? So we made a plan to foster a dog for a little while to see if it was indeed a good idea. Kelly did all the planning and collecting information and research about fostering a dog. And eventually, she found a sweet, chunky Rhea ready to join somebody's family. The listing said that she was mellow-tempered and loved to snuggle, which made Kelly who am I to stand in the way? So we made a plan to foster a dog for a little while to see if it was indeed a good idea. Kelly did all the planning and collecting information and research about fostering and adopting. And eventually, she found a sweet, chunky Rhea ready to join somebody's family. The listing said that she was mellow-tempered and loved to snuggle, which made Kelly think she'd be a great fit. Rhea was located all the way in the south, states away, but getting her...
said it. I want to get a cat. Like,
was actually pretty simple. We contacted the organization to set everything up. They told us to meet in a parking lot where they were going to distribute all the other dogs to all of the other families. When they arrived, they gave Rhea some final shots, they gave us some paperwork and a leash, and then we went. She didn't even know who we were, but when we opened the car door, she just jumped in with no questions. She was very, very trusting. You're very trusting. Too trusting. And video. At the beginning, things started off well enough. However, I was worried about leaving her alone all day because both Kelly and I had to go to work. We'd feed her breakfast, let her go potty, and go off to work. Normally, you'd think a dog in a new unfamiliar place would be more timid and maybe hiding in a spot or acting out in some way. But when I came home, she would poke her nose through the door like a bird trying to get a little seed, which is adorable. And it makes me think that she's just sitting there waiting all day for us to come home. She was starting to win me over, but despite her being literally the best little baby to ever bless this earth, I just couldn't live like this. It made me feel like I needed to vacuum everything, all the time. The line that I drew in the sand was when it came to getting into bed. We got her her own bed, and she was allowed to sleep on the couch, but I didn't want her allowed in bed, because I wanted to sleep in a blanket, and not a pile of fur. Hey babe, I'm going to bed. That was the couch. Which pile is the bed in again? The only problem was that she didn't want to be left alone. She was desperately wanting to be in bed to snuggle, as per her biography. But I stood firm, like a psychopath, and made her stay in her doggy bed on the floor. And she did, because she's a good girl. The couple of weeks of fostering that we had her were coming to a close, and we had to decide if we were going to adopt her fully or not. Night after night, she requested bed access, and I kept denying her. But how many times has she moved families? What crime did she commit to deserve a nomad life? And who am I to deny her a family, a belonging, a home to snuggle in? Okay, all right, baby, I'm sorry. You can come in bed. I'm sorry I was ever rude to you or cold to you. Can you ever find it in your little doggy heart to forgive me? Obviously, you know this. We ended up adopting her as a full-time puppy. We were happy with the decision. She was happy with the decision. If time machines existed and I could go back in time and meet myself when I didn't want to adopt, there would be consequences. Ultimately, Rhea has been an amazing dog, and all I can be is thankful. Thankful to Rhea and thankful to Kelly for finding our perfect puppy baby. I have something. Listen. I have something to say. I'm listening. If you still wanted some clothing merch, we're not going to be restocking, so check out the store if you're interested in getting any of that. Thank you, everybody, for the support, and thank you for watching.
Bye. Okay, anyways, that's the guava. What? Thanks for watching this video. I hope you are alive tomorrow. And bye. I can't reach my mouse. Is it this button? No, it's this button. Okay. Bye.